Hello, my brothers and sisters. Today, I have come to talk to you about relationship. Relationship is actually the most important aspect of our daily living, of honor, as well as our daily experiences in life. When I talk about relationship, the one thing that I want to make you guys understand is that relationship was actually created by God. Remember the first time I think when I started, I've explained to you guys what God is and how we are here on earth. So God wanted to experience himself. And in order for him to experience himself, he has to experience himself as a relation unto something else. So the way what God created to help us, to help him experience himself, he created three things. The first thing he did is relationship. Relationship is how you relate between one thing to the other thing. So I am in relation to my child, or I am in relation to you. The only reason I can say there is an I is because I can then see a you and I. So I relate with you. It's not only for humans, it's with events. So I relate with the sun. Sun makes me smile. I relate with the snow makes me smile. So that's how you see that, oh, I am smiling. So you know yourself that, oh, the sun makes me smile. That is relation. This is actually very important. The second one that God created is something called forgetfulness. Forgetfulness is the ability, or is what is happening with most of us. You forget who you are. Because if you don't forget who you are, you then cannot choose. You don't have anything to choose from. And so what God did was, when we go through our mother's womb, we forget that we are actually a spirit being. We are actually everything. We are one with everything. I have a little story that I tell people in my session. I'm going to tell you about it. The little story is how I envisage creation and what is happening in our lives. I see it as God who is light. So God, in his goodness, created himself, part of himself. So he extends himself with so much love. Remember, if at first God knew that he was everything, he has everything. But within having everything and being everything, he cannot experience it. And so what he did was he extended love of everything that he has by creating the spirits. You know, in the Bible, it says in creation, the spirit was hovering everywhere. Hovering. That was God. Parts and particles everywhere. These spirits then, when they look up into their Father, they see how bright, white, beautiful the Father is. And so I'll give example for me. So my spirit would have said something like, Daddy, how come you're so bright? You're so beautiful. And I can see that I am light, but my light is not shiny as yours is shiny. How did you do it? He says, darling, all you have to do is just keep shining the light. That's all you do. The more you shine your light, the light gets brighter. The more you shine it, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm like, oh, I want that. I love it. So how can I do it? Because Daddy, yeah, within the spirit realm, there is no darkness. How do I shine it? Because everywhere is light. He says, my dear, it's true there is no darkness. Darkness does not exist. And then you're like, but then Daddy, how can I get to be like you? He says, but guess what? Because we are everything, we can be everything. And you're like, yes, my dear, you can be everything. And so what do? He says, all you have to do is pretend. Pretend as if you're asleep. Close your eyes. So I closed my eyes and spirit and said, what do you see? Nothing. He said, that is it. So what we can do is to experience yourself. When you close your eyes, I will hold you in my palm and you will close your eyes. Once you close your eyes, the first thing you will notice is darkness. It will feel like you're separated from me, but you're not. You know you can't. I said, yeah, of course I cannot be separated from you. There's nowhere to go. I said, okay, dear, close your eyes. Once you close your eyes, there's only one thing I want you to remember. Is to remember that you are everything in that darkness, and you've come to face that darkness by shining your light that you know you have. Oh, that is easy, Daddy. And he says, okay, a beautiful angel. Yeah, in my palm, your eyes are closed. You see darkness. That's why I think when you give birth to children, the first thing they do is they cry. Once they come out in that dream of which you and me are at the moment that we think is life, this is a dream. Once they come out of that dream, that is what darkness is. That's why they cry. They're like, ah! That's what happens. But while you're in this life, that is darkness. That's why Christ reminds us. All you have to remember is to shine your light who you are. That is why anyway, that's what I think. In the Bible, the Lord from Old Testament has been saying, children of Israel, wake up from sleep. Even then, St. Paul kept going on about it. Guys, wake up from sleep so the Christ that lives within you would shine. And for the people who actually go through this life and don't wake up from sleep, whenever they die, do you know what happens? Go and check it out. Most people in their dying bed, they are anxious, they're scared. But what usually happens is they always end up with a smile. Do you know why? It's when they've awakened and they saw that, oh my God, I was only sleeping. They smile and they're embraced back in their daddy's hand. And then they're like, Father, I want to go back. I've seen my light is not bright enough. That is why even in the Bible, they say there's reincarnation. That's all that happens. So don't sit here and get yourself worried in this darkness. Remember who you are. In order for you to remember who you are, you have to relate to something. And then the third thing that God created is what they call consciousness. Consciousness starts from when you're unconscious. When you've forgotten who you are. That is, your life is unconscious living. That's what happens. That's why we're reacting. Unconscious living means you do things without consciously thinking what you're doing, without consciously appreciating what you're doing. Once you then start becoming aware of who you are, your consciousness starts expanding, and your light, that is your light then. As you're growing, you're seeing light is expanding. That is consciousness. Once you become aware that the Christ has risen in you, you start behaving like Christ. You see how life is good. Your light is getting brighter and brighter. And you too be able to walk through the water. Jesus said it. That is what consciousness is. So that is the 3 stages of our reality. And for everything that I've been doing in my videos is trying to activate that consciousness in you. All you need to do is try to practice with an awareness. Because this practice is what you're here for. It is not harmful. I'm not telling you anything that they've not told you in the Bible. I am not telling you anything that in the bottom of your heart you don't already know. My brothers and sisters, you even know everything. You even know more than even me. But guess what? Because you're not consciously aware, it lives in your unconscious mind. So how does this come into relationship? The relationship I'm talking about today is how you relate. So when you consciously relate to life events, what you do is, if something negative happens in your life, you bring that into your awareness. It's how you respond to. You only have one way to respond to everything. It's love. That is what you're here for. Because you are love. I am not asking you to do what you're not. My brothers and sisters, the substance that makes you is love. but love takes different form. And the difference between you and events are you have the power to choose how you want to respond to that event. So if any negative events happen in your life, consciously remember, I am love, and you respond with love. That is how you heal that event. But most of us reject it. If you have fever, if you have depression, if you have anxiety, if you have cancer, if you have diabetes, if you are overweight, all you have to do is take it and say, I am overweight and I am a loving being. I respond to what my body is telling me with love. And I heal this weight into my perfect size by showing you love, by not rejecting it, by not fighting it, by asking the Christ that lives with you to heal it with love. All this science have shown it. All ill health, it comes from our emotions that we've rejected. They go and live in our unconscious mind and they block our reality. My brothers and sisters, the body that you created can heal itself. The only thing that is not healed, the only reason why the body cannot heal itself today is simply because we keep rejecting the body. So the body does not actually connect with the wholeness and oneness with Christ. Once you bring anything that your body brings, don't reject it. That's why Jesus was trying to teach Peter, move behind me. That is thought of ego. That is satanic thought. What ego is, what Satan is, what evil is your ego. Move behind me. I have to accept what the will of the Father. God, the will of the Father is not punishment, is not suffering. It's for you to accept love in all its forms, in all its disguises. Because through that is how your light becomes brighter. Why do you think Jesus' name is still popular today? Because Jesus is the first human being who's done that. And just so you know, even us Christians, when we think Muslims, other religions are not good, all the heads of people that can make people follow them in huge crowd, that can create something called religion. They have recognized their uniqueness in God. They took their weaknesses and they give it to their divinity. That is why they can pull crowds. My brothers and sisters, the only reason why you're Christian is because you were born in a Christian family. And for those Christians who change to become a Muslim, is because they are still looking for themselves. It's not because Christian is better than Muslim or Muslim. There is nothing that is better than anything else. We are all one love. I love you. I end this week for you to accept and respond to all events, all your relationship with your events with love, because that's what you're here for. Try it and let me know how it goes. I love you.